What's going on, guys? Welcome to Inside the Horseshoe. My name is Matt, and should the Indianapolis Colts trade for Trey Hendrickson, I'm going to share my thoughts in just a minute. But before I do, if you're new, if you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate if you would click that subscribe button. Also, click the bell icon so you're notified when I upload a video or when I go live. If you like the video, smack the like button, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you have a Twitter, make sure you follow me on Twitter at horseshoe_pod. There is a link in the description down below. So, the Bengals, it was reported earlier today that they are now listening to trade talks. They're listening to some offers, seeing what teams have to offer for Trey Hendrickson. And according to Jordan Schultz, the three teams that are interested that we know of so far are the Panthers, the Browns, and the Colts. They are the ones that are showing interest at this point. And a lot of Colts fans really want Trey Hendrickson. And I understand. The dude is a beast. He gets you a lot of sacks. He's a monster. He would make your defensive line better. And I think our defensive line with him, Latu, Buckner, Stewart, I think it would be a really good defensive line to the point to where you wouldn't really have to blitz much because you have Hendrickson who can get to the quarterback. Latu has shown he can get to the quarterback as well. He's got to finish sacks, And then we know Grover Stewart is really good at stopping the run. Buckner can get to the quarterback. That's something we all know as well. So he would make our defensive line much better. He would. He's one of the best defensive players in the NFL. So with that being said, should the Colts trade for Trey Hendrickson? And like I said, a lot of Colts fans, they really want him. Back when he was requesting a trade initially, I was interested in Trey Hendrickson as well. But I'll be completely honest, guys. At this point, I'm going to say no. I feel like I'm in a minority, but I would not trade for Trey Hendrickson. The reason being is the money. It's not the talent, it's simply the money. Like, obviously, I would love to have a talent like Trey Hendrickson. However, he wants at least $30 million a year. That is a lot of money, and I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but that's a lot of money. And in 2026, the Colts are going to have $50 million. Now, you can mess with the money, you can restructure deals to make things work better. Like, you can make it work, I suppose, but it's going to be challenging because he's going to take more than half of what you're going to have in 26 at this moment in time just to have him on your roster. And it's not like they'll sign him for $30 million even. It's probably going to be 31, 32, 33, somewhere in that ballpark. So I'll be honest, money-wise, that is what makes me go, no, I wouldn't do that. And also, on top of that, I like who we have as far as edge rushers go. Not as good as Trey Hendrickson, no doubt about it, but JTT, he's somebody, from Ohio State, our rookie. He's somebody I think that's going to be really good in the NFL. Ebukam, I think, is going to have a really nice season this year as well. Kwity Paye, he's a good rotational piece. Like, I like some of the guys we have on the ends. I don't want to sound like Chris Ballard, but I like the guys we have. I do. And yes, Trey Hendrickson would be better, but it's really the money that makes me go, no. I'm not really concerned about what you're going to have to give up to get Trey Hendrickson because they wanted a first-round pick. They're not getting a first-round pick. That is obvious. They're going to get a day two, maybe a couple day two picks, depending on what day two picks you offer. That is what they're going to get, and maybe a player as well. And I guess you could trade some guys too, and that can make the money work and whatnot. But at the end of the day, at least in my opinion, he's probably going to get somewhere like, I'd say 4-year, let's say 4-year, $125 million, something like that. That is what Trey Hendrickson is going to get. And I don't think, financially speaking, this is the right move to make. If you're going to spend that kind of money, honestly, I would rather go after Micah Parsons than Trey Hendrickson. But yeah, I mean, he's a great talent, but financially, I just don't think it would work. But of course, it's not my opinion that matters or your opinion that matters when it comes to actually getting a deal done. It's Chris Ballard. And do I think Chris Ballard and this team are willing to pull the trigger and bring in Trey Hendrickson. And in my opinion, I'm going to say no. For the money Trey Hendrickson wants, I don't see it happening at all. And I don't think he wants to be in a situation where they trade for a player that they're going to have for 1 year. I don't think he wants to be in that situation, and I don't think he's willing to give him $30 million a year. It's a lot of money, and I don't see him willing to give up that money. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's going to change his ways, and he'll trade for Trey Hendrickson, and he'll give him 33 a year. And then they'll, restructure deals, they'll trade players, cut players, whatever they need to do to ultimately make it work. Like, I think, me personally, I think Alec Pierce is probably going to get 15 to $20 million. That Trey Hendrickson pretty much takes up what you have. And then you got to look at 27. You got to look at 28, or maybe even 29. Look at the free agents at that point, and you got to decide: are we willing to make this kind of move, pay that kind of money? And I don't think Chris Ballard is going to do that. Great player, would love to have him. The money is just too much for me. But yeah, that's going to do it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Matt Bleed Blue. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you watch one of these other two videos. They're cool. Also, if you're new, please click the subscribe button as well as the bell icon. I greatly appreciate your support.